John Mitchell may be a New Zealander, but having been spat at by Welshmen and abused by Scots, he knows the hatred other nations hold for England. And with old foes Australia coming to Twickenham this Saturday, he wants his men to get their retaliation in first. "I don't think too many people like us as England, do they?" said the defence coach. John Mitchell wants his side to retaliate against Australia at Twickenham on Saturday. "It's important to understand that and realise we can actually reverse that in terms of our own thinking. When you don't get it right, you just have to look at the satisfaction and the gloating on the other side to realise how important it is. So you might as well get in first and get it done." Mitchell last coached England under Sir Clive Woodward at the turn of the century. His final match on the sidelines, the 2000 loss to Scotland at Murrayfield, which ended English Grand Slam hopes. And having spoken to new motivational guru and former England captain Will Carlin over a cup of tea this week, Mitchell reflected on his previous experiences with the red rose on his tracksuit. John Mitchell knows that not many other nations like England, but believes that is jealousy. "I still remember training at a university in Scotland and just the language," he added. Then at Wembley, walking down the tunnel at half-time, in 1999, a little bit of a goober, spit, ended up on my tracksuit. To have had that experience and receive the emotions that come from that on the other side, it certainly does motivate me personally. England are sceptical about the fitness of Australia's breakdown king David Pocock'I. "I still think there's a place for you to realise how much it means and the fact you hate coming second to somebody that you dislike." Mitchell was noticeably emotional when recollecting his return to Twickenham when I walked back into the English changing room. Before the South Africa game on the Friday, it had been 18 years since I'd been in that room, he said. "I was quite overwhelmed. Immediately you had an emotional connection. One more defeat and this will be Australia's joint worst calendar year on record. I'm very grateful that my apprenticeship came here. I haven't coached in New Zealand for 15 years and haven't lived there for 15 years. While I'm naturally proud of that heritage, it's not the thing that drives me the most. To get back and be part of England, it doesn't feel like just a job. I feel emotively connected. That comes from the past." And converted Kiwi Brad Shields, 27, has fond memories of England's most famous victory over the Australians 15 years ago when he was 12 years old and lived in Wellington. My parents had a big party and enjoyed it when England won. He recalled they set up a bar and were all wearing England shirts. Me being quite naive, I just went along with it. Mitchell is wary of wounded Wallabies ahead of Saturday's test. One more defeat and this will be Australia's joint worst calendar year on record, with 9 losses in 13 tests, but Mitchell knows they can turn it on. Mitchell last coached England under Sir Clive Woodward at the turn of the century. They just need a small opening of light, a small opening of hope, and they find a way, he said. As you can see from their results at the World Cup, they've always been an extremely dangerous, competitive and successful opponent. England are sceptical about the will he won't he saga surrounding the fitness of breakdown king David Pocock. The back rower has a neck injury, and the Australians have played down the prospect of him featuring, but their opponents are not convinced. "We are not reading too much into David Pocock's injury stuff," said Mitchell. "It could be a play from them to get us to take our eye off the ball. The man who might have to stop him if he does play is Shields. How we take him out of the game has been a big focus for us," said the England flanker. "We have to take him out before he gets an opportunity. Every team I have played in, he has been one of the no-one threats.